I'm me, and this is going to be a full face of celebrity slash influencer makeup. But yeah, kind of self-explanatory. These are all either celebrity brands, influencer brands. I am going to cheat a little and also allow myself to use like influencer collabs, because I do have a few products. Don't know if I'm going to use them, but I want to cover that scope. Also, it's technically most of a full face because my brows aren't and my lashes definitely aren't. Also, if at any point in the video you go, oh my god, why isn't Jeffree Star Cosmetics here? Oh my god, why isn't Point of View here? Why isn't Painted here? No. You cannot pay me $1 million to say something nice about those people, let alone buy something from one of their brands. None of them are trustworthy. Some of them should be arrested on felonies. Should be arrested, but all in all, they suck as people. Never gonna support them. But yeah, I did include influencer brands only to allow myself some wiggle room for the eyeshadow, because a lot of brands don't, like a lot of celebrity brands don't do, Jesus Christ, I'm typing the wrong thing into Instagram. A lot of brands don't do eyeshadow palettes, let alone celebrities. Or if they do, they're neutrals, and I don't want that. But this is from Bunnh Cosmetics. This is the Blends palette. And now you may be going, oh my god, you always use that. This is an influencer brand, but it's not like a cash grab influencer brand. This is a really good formula, and you can tell that a lot of heart and soul goes into this. The owner is Bunnh. Well, at least that's the Instagram handle. I think her name is Maggie. Don't quote me on this. I never followed her, but people were like, oh my god, this is one of the best palettes. So I'm like, okay. Because I was Wild Concept influenced. But this is gonna save me from beige. But I think I'm gonna do a sunset eye today. I know, who am I? It's also freezing. It snowed today. So I'm really not in the mood for any of this right now. So, warm. I can't find my mirror. But first, I'm going to take some of First Kiss, which is like a little soft orange, and I'm going to start to lay that here. And I may regret this. But I am, in fact, going to attempt a halo eye. You know what? No, I'm not. Halo eyes suck on me because my eyes are uneven, so it's always uneven, and then I'm frustrated, and then I hate how my makeup turns out. So we're just gonna do a standard, like, kinda half-cut 3/4 crease, and we will suffer because, again, I don't need that kind of negativity in my life. But I at least want this down first before I start bringing in any, like, pinks and reds. And yeah, I'm actually gonna bring this up a little higher than I normally would, because I do have a plan. Also, my eyebrows are kind of out of control, but I'm so scared on plucking them and accidentally plucking an important hair, so I just haven't touched them lately. So I need to figure that out. And then I'm gonna take the shade Vamp with a tiniest bit of Vexed, just to make it a little more reddish. And I'm gonna start right there. But I did also trim my bangs right before this. I also curled them. I put them in a roller because they just haven't been cooperating lately, and it's also because I need to wash my hair tonight. So they're starting to get a little too oily and, like, not soft, but, like, I can't explain it in a proper way. But I know what I mean, and it's just in that weird, hey, it needs to be washed. So that will be a tonight issue. Yeah. And then I'm also going to make sure to bring this mixture a little under my eye. The inner corner of my eye has also been so itchy. And I made sure to check, and there's not any hair in there. from when I trimmed my bangs, obviously. Because, like, it was literally within the hour that I've done it. So, what do I know? And then, different brush. I'm going to go in with a little bit of Sunsets, which is just like this pale pink. And I'm going to use it to blend out that kind of fuchsia color into the orange. And I can always go back in with some more orange if push comes to shove, which it probably will. But again, I just want colors. Usually I just want colors down first, and then I can get everything dealt with and handled. Oh, I forgot to mention it, but I did have a nail appointment on Sunday. I kind of wanted to go with like Abstract Cow, and I don't know if it's given that. Like, my nail tech knew, but I showed my mother, and she's like, I forgot what she said it looked like, but it wasn't cow print. I'm like, ooh. And like, it looks exactly like the reference photo. I'm just going back in with some of First Kiss and the tiniest bit of Barley, which is like the next orange in the palette. I'm gonna tap some of it in and off. And I'm just gonna start to, yeah. But I think I did finally decide on my Valentine's nails. I texted one of my friends. I'm like, hey, because she does her own nails usually, so I will, not that I trust her opinion more, but like, she understands what I go through. And I think I'm gonna do heart-shaped cherries on the nails. So, again, no offense to my original nail tech, loved her. And I'm going back in with the original mixture of Vexed and Vamp. Love my nail tech. I have never loved, like, my original nail tech. I never loved any of my Valentine's Day nails from her. So I'm hoping and praying here that my new one will not do me dirty. I'm really, really hoping, man. And then this is just the concealer brush that I used earlier to do my brows. I'm just gonna use whatever's left and make sure to cut this a little, just so the color I plan on putting down doesn't overlap with like the orange and get weird. I'm gonna do that. I also did a load of laundry before I started doing this, so I'm gonna need to switch it when I'm finished, because I'm like, I'm not, like, we got home so late today, because as I film this, it is Monday, January 19th. My father has abdominal surgery on Friday the 23rd. So we kind of did our last big, like, shopping outings that we usually do on Mondays. So even though we left the house at like 8:30, I don't think we got home properly until like 2:15, 2:30, which is kind of why I'm starting this so late. But you know, we went to Walmart, we went to Trader Joe's, we went to the coffee shop we usually go to. We went all the way down to Quincy and went to Paris Baguette and H Mart. Paris Baguette wasn't needed. I found out there was one there. I wanted a salad sandwich. Don't bully me. Had to drive back up. Then we went out to Costco. Then we went to Marshall's because my brother tagged along. He's like, I need new underwear. I'm like, dude. And then him and I waited in a stupid line at Marshall's for so long. The line at Marshall's was worse than the line in Costco. That's all I have to say. And then on a little brush, I'm going to take some of Cream and Sugar, which is just white. And then I'm going to take some of Dream. It's not my favorite blue, but I feel like Bubble Bath isn't quite right either. So it's fine. Everything's fine. But yeah, we went to Costco to get... All we got was a rotisserie chicken. I mean, my brother and my father got hot dogs on the way out. And I split an ice cream with my brother. But literally, the only thing we got in Costco was a rotisserie chicken to make some sort of rice thing tonight. So, also the samples were awful. Like, first of all, there weren't barely any samples out. I'm like, it is, you know, 1:30, 2 o'clock. You should have this stuff out. And then the ones that they did had, I'm like, okay, wow, you're giving out creatine. Like a liquid creatine. You're giving out kid multivitamin gummies. Half of them weren't set up, and half of them weren't there where they usually were, so I'm like, okay. I'm like, do I just not deserve, like, treats today? This is just the original mixture of Vexed and Vamp. And the answer was actually no, because when we went to the coffee shop that we usually go to, they didn't have any pastries that I wanted. I'm like, okay, I'm gonna go next door to the bakery cafe that I will very often get a muffin from. They were out of the muffin that I wanted, so I'm like, you know what? Which is why I stopped at Paris Baguette, because I'm like, I'm starving. And they had a egg salad sandwich that had basil and cucumbers, and it wasn't white people egg salad, which is what matters. Also, H Mart had samples. I've never gotten samples from H Mart before, which is so weird because we always go on a Monday, and we always go around that time. The only thing that was different is that it's the holiday today, but like, that usually won't affect it. I don't know. What do I know? And then on a flat round brush, I'm going to take the shade Secrets, which is a very pale yellow to the point that I don't know if it's going to show up. And I'm just going to pack that on my inner corner, unintentionally doing a little brightening effect. That got my eye now. It's slightly damp. This is disgusting. And then I'm going to pack this on my brow, which is why I want to blend the orange a little higher than I usually would, because even though this is so pale, I want it to be blended in. Also, this is gonna sound really not weird, but like off-putting. I'm not a big ice cream person anymore. In the summer, I don't want dairy products usually, so I'll usually get like sorbet, and then in the winter, like, it's New England, it's freezing, so I really don't want any. But the coffee shop that we usually go to on Mondays have started carrying my favorite ice cream brand of all time, which is this brand called Holy Cow, in Massachusetts. Their ice cream is so good. They have a flavor called Ritzy AF, so it's like the Ritz cracker bark into a ice cream. It's fantastic. So I did get 2 pints of, not 2 pints, they had like little cups. So I got 2 cups of that last week. Not last week, week before, but I'm like, I'm just not an ice cream person anymore, which is so weird. And then I'm gonna go in with another Blend Bunny palette. This is the Blend Bunny X Ellis, the Garden of Stars Eye Face Palette. Really funny, influencer brand, in collaboration with an influencer. 2 birds, 1 stone. Look at me. I'm gonna go in with the shade Lucid. No glitter primer. We dye like men today. And I'm just gonna... Oh, that's a little more green than I wanted. Shitballs. Okay, I lied. I'm gonna take a little bit of Elusive too, because even though that's like a little more purpley pinky, it's gonna counteract the green, hopefully. So, other eye. Mix these in together because I do in fact want some shimmer. I know, wow, who could have foreseen this coming? And then I'm gonna take on the original brush, I'm gonna take a tiny bit of just Vex and see if I can deepen this up a little, because I feel like there's not quite the dimension that I want. So we're gonna kind of carefully do a little smudgy smudge that I would usually do, and then I'm gonna see about blending that out with this different brush. So we'll do a little... Actually, I feel like just that is fine. So I'm gonna clean this up a little and find some lashes, but I will be back in a second. Alright, I'm back with some nice clean eyeshadow and some lashes. These are just Lily lashes, so not celebrity, but celebrity adjacent because of how many people wore them. I don't know, I'm pulling things out of nowhere. But let's move on to the base. So for skin prep, I'm going to go in entirely with Rhode, which is Hailey Bieber, or originally Hailey Baldwin's line. This is the Glazing Milk. Haven't used this in a while, so I don't know if my skin's going to react to it or not. But... Oops. But I was realizing that I don't have many celebrity primers or anything. So this is the closest thing that we are getting today. But oh my god, I think we should go shopping. Well, it was also snowing today, so people were probably at home with their kids. But like, Martin Luther King Jr. Day is like the perfect day to go to stores, because there are so few people in Walmart and Trader Joe's. Trader Joe's was like empty, which is so weird. Even H Mart wasn't as bad as it usually is. Like, it was still the worst out of the three, which is funny because it's usually not as bad as Walmart, but it still wasn't as bad as it could have been. Just gonna let this. Yeah, I also really need to get a new one of these because this is before they changed to the shiny package, as proven by this. So, really need to get a new one. And I'm just hoping and praying that my skin doesn't react because of how expired it is. Like, I'm really hoping and praying here, man. I mean, usually my skin reacts immediately, so this is at least a good sign. My skin doesn't feel weird. And then, surprise, this is also from Rhode. I know, what a wild concept. That's the same brand that I said I was going to use for both skin prep items. This is the barrier butter. This is not the regular size. This was like a Sephora 100-point sample, so I'm like, okay. I also haven't used this before. So I really don't know how this is gonna sit under my makeup. We'll hope, we'll pray. I'll make something work. But no, so I had a nail appointment Saturday night. I booked an appointment for 4:35 because I was out at 4, and it's like not even a 10-minute train ride, but I know how the Green Line is. And I'd rather be early and just ditz around. Literally, they texted me at like 2:30, which I found so weird. They're like, oh my god, hey. They didn't even say that he was running behind. They just went, oh my god, hey, can you come in at 4:50? And I'm like, so you pushed me 15 minutes. And of course I was like, yeah. I'm like, duh. And then I get there. I'm like, oh, the girl at the front desk is like, oh, hi, Mia. Because, you know, I've been going there for 2 years now. I was like, oh, hi. I'm like, I know I'm a few minutes early, blah, blah. She's like, oh, no, he's ready for you. I'm like, I came 7 minutes early. So 8 minutes after my original time. I'm like, I could have just waited the 8 minutes sitting down. And then they didn't even give me a late discount like they usually do. I'm like, which, again, is fine because it really wasn't that late. But, like, time before when I got the jelly and the chrome, he was 15 minutes late, and because I was supposed to be his first appointment of the day. I mean, I still was. Okay, my skin's also not reacting to this. Slay. But, like, I booked an 11 a.m. appointment. He sat down at 11:15 because I was there before him. So I got a discount for that, and I think I also might have gotten a discount because he used my gel polishes and my chrome, so yeah. And for foundation, I'm going to go in with my beloved Haus Labs Trichlone Skin Tech Foundation in 70 Fair Neutral. Yeah. I should also probably get a new one of these relatively soon, just because it's not that it's not my shade, it's just expired. What was I going to say? Oh, my manager just texted me, like, a little bit before I started this. She's like, hey, I forgot that my baby has a doctor's appointment on the 27th. She's like, figured I'd ask you before anybody else if you wanted my opening shift. I'm like, oh, like, I don't want it, but I told you that basically starting today, I will be able to, you know, do any last minute shifts, coverage, blah, 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 blah. Because my father will be out of commission for a while. So I won't have any last minute truck shifts. I won't have any Monday shenanigans. I'm like, yeah, sure. And if it's the day that I'm remembering, there's a big order that was requested to be packed, very oddly. Like, it's 100 pack. It's more than 100 cookies, and they want them all in small boxes instead of the catering boxes. And I'm like, it's like for early in the day too. It's for Amazon. Tuesday's also our truck day, but she doesn't have anyone scheduled to be there with me, so I don't know if there is a truck. Ooh, that's almost off my wrist. But I'm like, yeah. Which is really funny because she also has me on for Sunday that day. that week and not Friday. So I'm like, so at least I can do I can do my makeup Friday as a counteractive for work on Tuesday now, and that was still my plan. I also have the next 3 nail appointments booked. I have basically everything up until New York booked because, you know, Valentine's Day, that is February 8th. And then, I hate it so much, but he's like, oh, it's fine, it's fine. After that, the next date would be March 1st, because I go every 3 weeks, pretty much like clockwork. It's my father's birthday on March 1st. So I'm like, he's like, it's fine, it's fine. I'm like, oh. And then, I'm just going over it with a sponge to kind of, because I applied too much. But the next date would have been March 22nd for my nails. I will be in New York at that time. So I have an appointment for March 15th at 9:30 a.m. Like, this is stupid and I hate it. But it's a Tuesday. They open early on Tuesday, so I can get it done before everything else and still do... Sorry, my nose is running. Q-tip. So I can still get my nails done, be home by noon at the very latest, because I think I'm just getting the same jelly polish and chrome that I did. So, also, didn't say it, Haus Labs is Lady Gaga's brand. So, huzzah. And then this is from About Face Beauty. This is the Illusionist Skin Focus Concealer, which is Halsey's brand. Which is so funny because all of the celebrity brands that I'm using, I don't listen to such celebrities, like music-wise, because most of the celebrities that come out with makeup are musicians and not actors. I used to have the Outset stuff, which was Scarlett Johansson's brand. That stuff was legitimately so good. The moisturizer, oh, that moisturizer, that serum, that facial oil, it was all just so good. Except I got very expired, so I threw it out, and I don't think Sephora carries much of them anymore. But I'm just gonna blend this in. Oh, the dude sitting next to me on the train Wednesday morning. You know, Wednesday morning I'm on the train by 8:20. 8:30 if I'm pushing it for time. Which reminds me, I'm gonna need to double check that order to know if I need to go in early the Tuesday that I'm working now. But you know, so it's 8:30 in the morning. Not an acceptable time to be doing much of anything. I was gonna say doing alcohol. That's not how you phrase it. But the guy next to me pulled out a bottle in a brown bag. So let's be real with each other here of what was most likely in that bag. I couldn't smell anything, but you wouldn't put a non-alcoholic beverage in a bag like that. Like, it's just not something you do. So I'm like, again, 8:20 on a Wednesday morning. I think it was the same morning that I saw Rip Off Matt Damon with the prosthetic beard. I think. Might have been Thursday. Oh, and Dunkin' Donuts got my cheese wrong again. Because I don't like American cheese, but it has a better melting. Sorry. It melts better on sandwiches. So, like, for breakfast sandwiches, I'll just suffer and get American. So, got a Dunkin' Donuts breakfast sandwich. Had the wrong cheese. Twice. Ordered it 3 times, 3 days in a row. Don't believe me, I was hungry. They got my cheese wrong the first day. I went, okay. They got my cheese in the bun right on the second day, because I changed it. Not bun, but bread. Third day, wrong cheese again. I'm like, I know that this specific sandwich originally comes with cheddar, but their cheddar is greasy, which is why I don't want it. But I'm like, it says on the thing. It goes, sweet pepper bacon, egg, American cheese, croissant. So it says on the thing. God forbid you read a ticket. God forbid you do your job. And then Dunkin' Donuts can't refund on their POS in store, so I have to do it online, and their maintenance chat is still down. And then this is from Rare Beauty. I want to say this is the Warm Wishes Effortless Bronzer Stick. I could be wrong because they don't put their names on anything. This is in the shade Bright Side, which is a little more neutral, but it's still very warm. And then this is Selena Gomez's brand. I haven't bought anything from Rare Beauty in so long. Like, this expired. The blushes that I have, the bouncy ones, were from Skeepers. The lip oils that I have, Skeepers. So I haven't actually bought anything from Rare Beauty probably since this. Or their highlighters. So, like, I decluttered my liquid blushes because they were so old. Like, I got those blushes when the brand first launched. That's how old they were. I still had very short hair at that point in my life. So, 2020 to 2022, maybe? But it was very bad. It very expired. And they smelled awful. And, like, there's one shade that I'm thinking of buying because it originally came in a limited edition set. It was the shade Adore, which recently came in as a full size permanently. I'm like, wow, this is like 2-3 years later. But that was like the first like neutral pink that wasn't like totally coral or cool on me. So like I'm thinking of it, but I'm probably not. Because their dewy blushes are way too dewy sometimes. But, c'est la vie. And then this is from Persona Cosmetics. This is the blush multi-stick in the shade Bloom. This was originally a collab with, I want to say Sarah Wojak, is that her name? I remember it was a collab originally, but now I also know that it's like a full Wolak. Sarah_Wolak on TikTok. Her. I remember it was originally a collab with her. I don't know if it's still a collab. This is the shade Bloom. I got this not because I cared about who she was, no offense, because of the color. Because I'm like, this is like my what I want in a blush. So I got it. Obviously, I'm like, like nothing wrong with her. Again, she's a beauty influencer. It was just nothing that was like, she didn't do my type of makeup that I usually prefer. So I only follow like 2 people that do like more natural clean girl glam. So it's just one of those things of like, you know. But I love this shade so much. It's like such a nice like peachy pink. And I'm gonna try to keep this up high and not get too under the eye. But we're gonna, yeah. I had half a mind to layer another blush on top of this, another blush collab, ironically enough, but I'm like, it doesn't match with any of the tones in the eye, so I feel like it would just go odd. Like a little odd. But do a bigger brush for this and and I'm gonna take the tiniest bit more. Teeny, tiny, tiny, tiny. What I find so funny about this is that the top layer will always turn hot, hot pink after not using it for a while, so I had to like scrape it off. I'm like, it's not the blush shade that it is, and it's not the blush shade that I want, so. But we're gonna keep it kind of focused back here, but like this is like the perfect like kind of beachy flush. Not like in a natural way, but like in a, oh my god, summer. Jesus Christ, that was way too much. It's okay. That's what my foundation brush is for. Do a little, see? There we go. Bam, bam. And then this is from Fenty Beauty. This is the Demi Glow Light Diffusing Highlighter in the shade Pretty Pearls, which is, as you might have guessed it, Rihanna's brand. Because she does more makeup than she does music apparently these days. I don't know. She does more babies than she does anything, and like, if she wants that, good for her. Sounds like my personal hell. But also, I did not buy anything for this look. These are all products that are already in my collection, well loved, as proven by the dent that is in this highlighter. The corner chipped off, but that wasn't from me using it. It just went in the wrong way. I was originally going to use this highlighter that I refound from Jason Wu, who is a fashion designer. I don't know if the brand still exists. I'm going to be so honest here. I saw one item at TJ Maxx today, and not TJ Maxx, Marshalls, and it was like the first thing I've seen of his in store in many, many years. But like the brand was in Target when I was working at Target in 2020, so don't know if the brand still exists. But it was like this like opalescent highlighter stick, and I thought I saved it because I found it in a like cupboard downstairs. I did not. I was looking for it yesterday to go with my kind of fembot blush and lizard look, and it did not. I apparently did not save it. To be fair, it probably would, even though I never opened it, it would probably have been really, really dry. So, alas. And then this is from the brand Refy. This is the blur liner in the shade Zone. Apparently this is owned by an influencer named Jess Hunt. She's apparently really big in the UK. I'm assuming she's British if that's the case. I did not realize this. Or did I ever know who she was, but this is one of the only lip liners I have that won't overlap with any of the brands that I've already used, so. But it's like the Rhode lip liner and a lot of more Korean beauty lip liners, like that rounded tip. I'm sorry, this is very hard to do while talking, so. Oh! So, I traveled all over the map last Monday. I went to 3 stores. Because my friend is insane and bought me AirPod Pros for Christmas, so I had to buy a new case. Didn't have any at Walmart, didn't have any at Target. Ended up at Five Below. Got a case. All fine and dandy. Go home, put the case on. I'm like, wow, this does not fit at all. And it's on me because I misread the packaging. They're for AirPods 3s. So the bottom half of it kind of fit, but the top half did not fit the lid. So I had to order a new case on Amazon. But it does fit. It's like a acrylic case. I'm like, I don't know how I feel about this because they've only had the silicone rubber ones and like. And then with a lip brush, I'm gonna take just some of the blush and put it in the center of my lips because I don't think I have any too like corresponding lipsticks that would work with this. It's so funny because this always looks so much lighter on my lips than it does my face, but color theory. Realistically, what do I know? So I'm just gonna do a little and a little. And then I'm gonna go in with the Lunar Beauty lip gloss in the shade Dreamy. This is probably gonna be the last bit of this lip gloss. But this brand is from Manny MUA. So, also I really love this. Besides his brushes, I have not really tried products I haven't liked from that brand. Like their lip gloss is fantastic. Their eyeshadows, the Nude Prism palette, that is like my favorite neutral palette of all times. So, I'm looking. But I need to go fix my bangs, and I should be back in a second. Alright, and this is the finished look. Like I said, a full face of celebrity / influencer makeup brands. I did totally cheat a little just so I can get the eyes not neutral. I know there are some brands I didn't use. I didn't use R.E.M. Beauty. I didn't use Kylie Cosmetics. I have very expired Kim Kardashian makeup. Didn't use that, obviously. That's just more of a memento than anything. And there are also probably tons of brands that I did not realize were owned by celebrities or influencers. But this is everything that I had in my collection. So it was nice to know that I could at least do a full face without overlapping things. Because again, I don't like doing that. Like, I'll do it sometimes, but I like to have more variety. But yeah, I'm really not that upset about this.